Fighting out of Danbury, Connecticut, USA, by way of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Here is Alex Pereira making the walk for his UFC debut. And even Glover Teixeira said to us this week, Joe, this man has a different strength, even on the ground. He says, I train with everybody. This man's appetite for MMA knowledge, his ability to learn quickly is second to none. And you're right, Glover has given this man credit every step of the way en route to the world title.
This is one of my most look forward to moments in this sport, is the emergence of Alex Pereira in the UFC. I am a giant fan of this man. I've been watching his kickboxing career. I've been watching him for years and years. He is truly exceptional.
All right, this Tale of the Tape is brought to you by Toyo Tires, the official tire of the UFC. Pereira 34, Michailidis is 33. Pereira has 4 inches in height. He will try to maximize what is a 3-inch edge in reach. All right, now to get you primed for the featured prelim, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 13 wins, 4 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Athens, Greece, Andreas the Spartan Michailidis! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a kickboxer holding a professional record, 3 wins, 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 186 pounds. Fighting out of Danbury, Connecticut, by way of São Bernardo do Campo, Sao Paulo, Brazil. Presenting the former glory kickboxing champion, Alex Poatan Pereira! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Dan Mergliata.
Dan Mergliata is our referee for this one. He will also handle the main event between Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington. Red De La Cruz is here. Brittany, Luciana, and Brooklyn all octagon side tonight for the UFC debut of Alex Pereira.
All right, you ready, sir?
He's been all in on MMA for the last 18 months under the guise of Glover Teixeira in Connecticut. This fight clock brought to you by Toyo Tires, the official tire of the UFC. Michailidis in black. Pereira is in white.
I cannot overstate how excited I am for the debut of Alex Pereira. You want to talk about a guy with ridiculous power. That's Alex Pereira. And how often does a guy be the last guy in on the big card on ESPN, the feature bout,
right,
and he's got 4 fights?
Yeah.
4 MMA fights.
For sure.
That's what a scary kickboxer Alex Pereira is. Perhaps the most feared kickboxer on earth.
You know, the truth is, for Pereira, he has a bit of a head start. If he can capitalize on all the hype and the wins over Izzy in the kickboxing, it won't take him long. But he's got to show that he can defend, and he's got to show that he can compete in all facets of mixed martial arts. That's what Israel Adesanya did as a kickboxer better than anyone we've ever seen before. He is truly well-rounded.
And for Michailidis, this is an excellent opening for this fight.
Yeah,
look at
close.
this. Gets the fight to the ground. He's got a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Didn't take any damage on the feet. If he can tie these legs up and move to a dominant position, excellent. Excellent for Michailidis.
So smart for Michel, because a lot of times people's ego takes over, and you want to show that I can stand with the striker. Why? Go and take him down and make him wrestle.
Andreas is making him carry his weight now. One of the beautiful things about this sport is the fact that you can shut down a man's game with yours.
Yes.
That you can impose your strategy on him. And look, you're seeing this. Alex Pereira, the devastating striker, having to fight a guy who's a superior grappler.
Pereira's got to get his right hand back inside and get 2 hands on the wrist like a baseball bat. And then he can start to try to get back to his feet.
But Michailidis is in an amazing position early in the first round. 1 hook in on the back.
Michailidis is doing exactly what he needed to do. He's got the wrist controlled on the far side. He's got a 2-on-1. He took that hook out so he's not just hanging on and trying to make himself. That's one of the most tiring things you can do, is when a guy stands with you you keep a body triangle, or you try to keep a hook in whenever you're holding your own weight up. Michailidis took it out, and now he's just dragging and wearing on it.
Pereira back up to his feet now. Let's see if he can manage to separate and create space. Pereira, who has been training with Glover Teixeira, and I've been crediting part of the training with Glover as one of the reasons why Glover has made this resurgence.
Yes.
Because he's been in the gym day to day with one of the best kickboxers on earth.
Great job there by Pereira, attacking the wrist and clearing, but Michailidis is doing a good job of keeping that underhook and winning the head position.
And more importantly, he's forcing Alex Pereira to fight his fight. He's forcing him to grapple and possibly taking some steam out of that engine.
Well, make your next UFC experience one to remember. Enjoy exclusive access with the UFC VIP experience, including events like UFC 269 and UFC 270. Official ticket packages feature premium seats and VIP weigh-in access, plus meet and greets with UFC stars. Visit UFCVIP.com to learn more.
Now Pereira's doing a good job of trying to redig the underhook. Then he can start to escape. Now, honestly, for Michael, it's, can he do this? Because he's a striker himself.
Yes.
How much will this wear on him in his arm?
Interesting that Big Dan decided to separate.
What happened to his eye? It looks like he got a big old bruise on his left eye.
Michailidis immediately able to close the distance, getting away with a fence grab here.
But he's got him again. He's got the clinch.
Not a grappling crowd per se.
No, I mean, we're just starting. We're just starting there, boy, because Michailidis is fighting the fight that he needs to fight in order to beat one of the greatest kickboxers we've ever seen in the UFC.
I mean, maybe these people are Alex Pereira fans, and they want to see him do his thing, but Michailidis is fighting a brilliant fight so far. It's what you have to do.
He's got his fingers. Michailidis has put his fingers in the fence like 3 times now. He's trying to do it away from the official.
You gotta work, man. You gotta work.
Well, Michailidis doing his best to neutralize Alex Pereira in round 1. Round 2 coming up next.
We're trying to figure out what caused that extreme bruising on his left cheek, and we'll see if the production truck can isolate that, but it's a nasty welt on his left cheek.
And John, honestly, that's what I was speaking to with all the clinch and the grab. Oh, my goodness!
Alex Pereira!
That's what I'm talking about.
How good is that?
Wow!
That's what I'm telling you. It's a different kind of power. You can't stand in front of that man.
Did you see that?
That dude's made out of mahogany. If you touch him, he feels like wood. He hits so hard.
Effortless, though, Joe. He just...
I'm telling you, that's what this guy does to everybody. He does that to world-class kickboxers. It's like he's built different or something.
And there's the embrace from the newly minted UFC light heavyweight champion Glover Teixeira. The power pack in Alex Pereira.
It's a different kind of power, man.
Oh,
I mean,
my God.
he just starches people and so calm about it. He tried to walk off, but Big Dan made Michailidis take some extra punishment that maybe he didn't need to take. When Alex Pereira connects, most people go night-night. And he's been used to doing this with big gloves on.
Oh, my God.
When you get caught with a knee by this guy or a kick, but now he gets to use elbows as well, which he couldn't use in Glory. Ferocious man.
You tune him up in round 2. 6 consecutive knockouts here at UFC 268.
Wow.
A lot of competition for bonus money, and by the way, the best is yet to come on pay-per-view. It is now time for the official decision. It is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. To make this one official, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Dan Michailidis has called a stop to this contest at 18 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by TKO, Alex Poatan Pereira.
All right, I am here with the winner, Alex Pereira. Alex, we have been looking forward to you competing in the UFC for a long time. Your debut did not disappoint. How happy are you?
Estou aqui com o Alex Pereira. Bom, estamos esperando há muito tempo a sua estreia no UFC e você não desapontou. O que você tem para falar?
Bom, treinei muito para isso. Muito obrigado a todo mundo que contribuiu com essa minha vitória. É para vocês. Estou muito feliz de coração. Obrigado, o meu oponente, por fazer essa belíssima luta comigo.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy. Thank you very much, everybody that supported me. I also thank my opponent for making this fight with me.
Well, Michailidis tested your grappling in the first round. What were your thoughts during those exchanges?
O Michailidis estava testando o seu chão no primeiro round. O que você estava pensando durante aquele momento?
Eu vi que ele estava dando tudo, porque ele entrou um pouco já com receio das minhas porradas. Eu estava batendo muito forte. E eu vi que ele deu tudo ali, ele começou a cansar. No último round ele estava fazendo coisas ali, meio apavorado. Eu aproveitei a situação.
He was overpowering, overcommitting to a lot, doing the clinch, using a lot of unnecessary power. I was feeling that. I keep my cool. Second round, I saw more openings and I capitalized the moment.
Let's take a look at the big knockout in the second round. A beautiful flying knee, about as pretty as it gets. Were you surprised that the referee didn't stop the fight the moment he went down because you tried to walk away?
O juiz não separou a luta no momento que você caiu com a joelhada?
Eu vi que ele estava já meio... Caiu já sem condições, né? Mas na hora que ele bateu, eu vi que ele voltou, aí eu tinha que terminar o serviço.
Well, I saw that he fell almost with no conditions already, but once I saw that the referee kept and he came back, I just finished the job.
Well, Alex Pereira, we've been looking forward to you being in the UFC for a long time. Congratulations on a spectacular debut.
Thank you.
Ready? Alex, ready?
Bruno
Fight
Silva's
on.
in the white, riding a 7-fight win streak into this matchup. You're not going to see many middleweights with a frame like Alex Pereira.
Yeah.
6'4", the reach. Clinch early, Pereira out of it.
Similar attributes to our champion in this weight class.
Yep.
Adesanya, long, rangy, accurate, powerful. Big rush there from Bruno Silva. Nice little front kick to the ribs there from Pereira.
And that's probably going to be the path if Bruno Silva's going to pull off the upset, right? Make it dirty.
Yeah, standing here on the outside against Pereira is dangerous.
Erga a mão, Bridado. Faz ele trabalhar essa mão, Bridado. Vou fazer ele trabalhar o boxe dele. Mais vivo. Vai colando com ele. Vai colando com ele. Vai colando. Vou fazer ele trabalhar.
Oi!
Boa, Bridado. Continua. Passar a segunda. Continua com a fita. Volta pra baixo, que ele tá na grade. Vamos botar ele pra baixo agora. Isso!
Oh, big shot from Silva.
Calma, Bridado. Faz ele trabalhar. É um toque, Bridado, que a gente precisa. Falta 3 minutos. Isso! Jab embaixo.
And you would think Paul Silva wants Pereira fighting off of the back foot.
Yeah, but he's got to be Oi! Pereira, both guys got hit there, but I saw that chin of Pereira snap back. He's got to be careful. He does like to hold his hands a little low. He's got a crazy reach, so it works to his advantage most times. But the way Bruno Silva is rushing in with these big shots like that, he's got to be careful. But yes, Brendan, I would imagine pressure him forward, get him moving backwards, because you see the kicking game of Pereira early on. Stays busy with it, attacking the legs, going to the body. That's harder to do moving on the back foot. See, right here he can settle. Prod with that front kick, throw his round kicks, and keep his distance.
Oh.
Joga ele pra grade, Blindado. Aí, ó. Aí, agora que você soltar isso, Blindado. Faz ele entrar no teu game. Vamos botar pra baixo, Blindado.
Silva goes up top unsuccessfully.
Bota a fita, Blindado. Bota a fita. Tudo tá no fita. Não para. Não fica movimento pesado. Olha a fita, Blindado. Cadê a fita?
Silva working southpaw right now. Under 2 minutes to go first round.
Você fita, blindado. Você primeiro. Você
Nice.
primeiro, blindado. Aí, blindado.
Good awareness there from Silva to chop after that leg. Get a read on where the positioning was of Pereira.
First takedown attempt for Silva, and he gets it. Pereira with the neck right there.
Just going to use that to try to get back up to his feet. Let's see if Silva can keep him down here.
First takedown since joining the UFC for Bruno Silva.
This would be the fight to do it, huh?
Yeah, Pereira up to a knee, though.
Yeah, it looks like he's nice. And now you see Silva's laced around that leg of Alex Pereira. Nice work here from Silva. Nice knees.
Pereira back to distance. Trying to split the guard. Unable to do so. Final 30 seconds of round one. Pereira starting to sense something. Power right cross.
Yeah, he's starting to open up here.
Knee up top. Pereira Silva starting to feel it, put things together. Running out of time in round one. Second round coming up. Watch fight replays anytime, any place, on demand with UFC Fight Pass. Catch up on events from earlier this week, including the likes of Aries FC, BFL, and LFA. Plus, get ready for UFC 273 with the world's largest fight library, only on UFC Fight Pass. Second round underway. The corner of Alex Pereira, specifically Glover Teixeira, saying more two-punch combinations. He really started putting it together in the final 20 seconds.
Yeah, he was starting to tee off up against the fence. But he's got to be careful. If he starts letting them go in too many numbers, you're going to see Bruno Silva just bite down and rip back with a counter, and that's sometimes when you get caught. You get a little too excited, you start throwing big punch combinations, you leave your chin out there to be attacked.
Total strikes, Pereira 36, Silva 24. So the edge for Pereira, and largely the difference was that last flurry. Loads up on that left hook, Silva out of the way. Silva chased that takedown late in the round and got it with about a minute to go. We'll see if he goes back to the well on that one.
Yeah, you see Pereira doing good work here, starting to attack the body as well.
Nice counter right there from Pereira. Oh, dips to the body.
Good liver shot there. I mean, Bruno Silva is by no means out of this fight. He's in this fight. Still a knockout threat. He is throwing bigger combinations.
Yep.
But the accuracy, I would say, is on the part of Pereira.
Oh, big right.
Between these two gentlemen, the knockouts is crazy. I mean, 19 knockouts for Bruno Silva.
And all three of his UFC appearances have ended with him winning by knockout.
And we've seen it happen later in a fight, so to say that, okay, well, he's getting touched up at certain points. Nice timing on that takedown there from Silva.
And again, this is just the 6th mixed martial arts fight for Alex Pereira. Looks to be well-rounded, and he's learning from the best. But once you're in there, it's a whole different...
Yet again, though, right back up to his feet, spending almost no time down there, giving up zero control time. I mean, maybe the first round a bit, but this time, right back up to his feet. Now he's getting control on the fence, but better than on his back.
Roda a cadeirinha então, faz a da cadeirinha. Faz a minha pegada na mão lá. Lembra? Dedo com dedo, vai na
What decisions will Silva make here? Not a lot of activity. Loads up with the leg there.
Precisamos de mais, cara.
Perhaps some dirty boxing would be a good approach here from Silva. Start trying to
Tried to spin. Not enough space in between them. Knee to the body, right hook, and an uppercut from Silva. And
gotta watch the knees, though, from Pereira.
Knee to the body. Silva thought about another takedown. Instead, they clinch.
Nice work there to get out of the fence from Pereira. Turning the head and then immediately attacking.
Head, body, leg strikes. Double digits for Pereira.
Oh, mean left hook there.
Double digits at all three levels, I should say.
Jab there from Silva. Pretty competitive fight, though, between these two guys.
Yeah, Silva's hanging in there. Pereira has loaded up with that lead left hook. And Silva's been there for the counter several times.
Maybe something he saw watching tape.
Silva going first that time.
Getting cracked a couple times there by Silva. There's that flying knee, almost got him.
Oh, big shots now.
Nice work there.
Fire. And he covers a lot of distance so effortlessly with that.
But Bruno Silva coming right back, landing his own shots here at the end of the second.
Goes to the ground, Pereira down for the last few seconds. Third round's coming up.
Stop!
Next week, the Octagon returns to London for the first time in 3 years with a huge heavyweight showdown. England's own Tom Aspinall will take on 6'7" striker Alexander Volkov in the main event. Wall-to-wall on ESPN+. Early main card start time of 4 p.m. Eastern as they go prime time at the O2. Silva's corner saying you gotta box him, but instead he goes in for a takedown after a combination. How about that? Best defense of the fight so far for Pereira.
Yeah, that was a good sprawl, and now he's got Bruno Silva up against the fence. This is where he's done some of his best work with his boxing combinations. It's always dangerous with the knees.
Foca na mão, mais pra frente, não fica plantado. Isso, mais, blindado. Deixa tudo, blindado.
I'll tell you, Bruno Silva has landed some solid leg kicks when he's let them go against Pereira. And being as long and as tall as he is, that's a good target to go after.
The striking numbers are in favor of Pereira. Total strikes 91 to 51 right now, but it is one of those fights where you can make a case
because of the
that
takedown.
Silva got around in the first two, and that it'll come down to these final 4 minutes now. You see some differing scorecards on Twitter we showed you earlier in this round.
He was thinking about it. You could tell the way he was angling to his right.
Sai da grade, só sai, vamos fazer a luta fluida, bora. Vamos, ficar pontuando aí. Acorda, porra, vamos, tem que sair daí, escuta, irmão. Blindado, cabeça baixo, queixo e vaza. Vamos. Saiu, blindado. Sai daí, blindado. Bora, blindado, cadê esgrima?
Pretty boxing here from Pereira.
This is just great MMA experience for Pereira. To be in there against somebody like Silva, who's a knockout artist, doesn't get knocked out, if it goes to that point, I'm saying. But he's in here having to work. He's getting pushed.
Get taken down twice, get up twice.
Yeah. Nice. Trying to pick the ankle there. I'm impressed with Pereira's grappling ability to get back up to his feet at least. But that will be challenged against a far better grappler. You know what I mean? Bruno Silva's a knockout artist.
He's not known for his grappling. Now they separate. Pereira going back to work, and there he is. You can see when he starts dancing a little bit, starting to find it. Ripping shots. A right cross. Oh, he's got a wobble now. Pereira has him against the fence. Now he's he's teeing off and now forced to defend the takedown again.
Oh, he's hurt.
He does so, and Silva is in a world of trouble. You think Pereira just needs to separate here?
Yeah, he's got to let go. Nice knee to the body, though, and that's softening up Silva.
Elbow. Elbow on the break, ripping the body in an uppercut.
Silva showing some toughness, but he's getting teed off.
Silva is covering up, and Pereira is foot on the gas pedal.
Oh, my
now
goodness.
Silva's punching back.
Silva's tough.
Another takedown attempt. Pereira easily able to sprawl out of that. Silva is still on wobbly legs, but still punching.
And can Silva survive? He's showing a lot of toughness and durability in there and still swinging back. A lot of heart from Bruno Silva, but he's getting pieced up pretty good here from Pereira in this third round. Look for the elbow, right elbow.
Oh, hands locked, and he does get it to the mat.
Still
just momentarily. But he gets outside position out of that exchange.
Problem with a takedown right now.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Go of it and lands some bombs of his own.
Bruno Silva starting to throw back. I like the heart.
Brawl here in the final 15 seconds.
Oh, he just broke his nose.
Backs him up again. Pereira trying to find the finishing touch now. To the body. 3 seconds left. Oh, and another shot from Silva in return. Gotta love the action between these two Brazilian knockout artists, but each of them tough enough to go the distance as well. Alex Pereira and Bruno Silva, 3 rounds in the books. We'll get the official decision next.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 have it 30-27. Your winner by unanimous decision, Alex Poatan Pereira!
Ready? Ready? Fight!
All right, tonight's Fight Clock is brought to you by Timex, official timekeeper of UFC. Get early access to a limited drop of Timex UFC watches while supplies last at Timex.com. Alex Pereira wearing the Brazilian colors. Sean Strickland counters in white.
I've wanted this one all week, man. This one, yeah, this is a big one. This one has a lot of stakes on it, too.
And look at Sean Strickland pushing the pace, moving forward.
He won't stop that.
Very interesting.
And he's got a really good jab.
Well, his timing, because he spars so much, is just outstanding.
He told us that was going to be very important. The start of the fight, seeing if he could pick up on Pereira's strikes. If he couldn't, then maybe he'll grapple.
Right.
But he can get a timing. If he can get his timing, he'd be more than willing to stand with him. He also told us that every single fight, Joe, that he hasn't fought, like in the streets, wherever, it bothers him. He can't sleep. He thinks about it constantly. He said one time a guy cut him off on the highway, and he said this girl in the car was begging him not to fight him. He said he still thinks about it every day.
There's 2 guys. There's 2 guys.
Yeah. He said, I can't, every fight I've had to not fight, it bothers me.
No, he is a dog.
The next level of the Jordan Peele experience is here. Nope, in theaters, July 22nd.
The difference in this strategy and the way they move is Sean has a very high volume approach, whereas Alex Pereira waits, and launches. He'll touch you, and then drop a bomb. But Strickland's putting tremendous pressure on him. He's making him back up, which is uncharacteristic.
See, this is, but this is not good for Sean. Pereira just landed 2 jabs, a right hand over the top, and then an outside leg kick. You don't stand and just kickbox with this guy. Sean points to his training partners, Glory Kickboxing champions, but this is too comfortable for Pereira.
Strickland repping Syndicate MMA here in Las Vegas. 2 minutes have gone by here, round 1.
Well, the Bruno Silva fight was the first time that we saw Pereira get caught. and he got caught multiple times in that fight. We saw a great chin on him. But Silva's a very, very good striker. So we saw some opportunities that maybe Sean Strickland would see that he could capitalize on.
Just took a pretty good right hand there by Pereira.
Both guys stand very straight up.
Yes.
And I think that is why a level change or a shot on Pereira would be good, because he's...
Oh!
That's what we're talking about. That's it.
That's why.
That's what I'm talking about. Done it again.
That's why.
You cannot stand in front of that man.
Can't play with that dude,
that
man.
That power is different. It's extraordinary.
You can't play with this dude, man.
Coming to a top 5 near you shortly, and perhaps the next middleweight title challenger, Alex Pereira.
People think they get it, but this guy does that to the best kickboxers on planet Earth.
That left hook was nasty.
And that's his signature technique. The thing about him is he's got that nuclear option. You cannot make a mistake. Look at the beauty in this hook. I mean, it's perfect.
That's perfect.
He just leans in, and he gets you thinking that you're all right standing in front of him, and then just torques that right on the chin.
Guys, bring that back one more time. Watch Pereira when he circles. Watch how Pereira just sets his level. Watch that level change, guys. When his feet set, look at him. Level change, spring it to the left hook.
Boom.
That's nasty.
I mean, that is the same hook he knocked out Adesanya with.
Dude, he hit him, and hey, Strickland's done at this point. And then look at the follow-up. Oh,
the
my
accuracy,
goodness.
the IQ of his striking.
I love that, Joe. He almost propels himself into the shot. He's moving left, settle, left hook is over. I mean, we talked about it very shortly before that you cannot play this game with this guy.
Right.
Maybe grab him. Maybe try to rush him a little bit. Look at what happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jason Herzog has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 36 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by knockout.